Well, I was intrigued when I saw
Shut up, Final Fantasy.
Hello, everyone.
Let's move on to the demo.
You realize you're gonna hate this, right? The battle system is like real-time action-oriented. It's not anything like the stuff that you enjoy.
And they're all dudes, aren't they? It's all dudes in this game.
Those textures, exclusively coming to Xbox One, apparently. You know, I absolutely love the Final Fantasy and JRPG way of doing things like, you just got flattened by the moon, 20% damage. Like, you got hit by this giant fist. Oh, it took about a third of my HP. It's like, how?
Getting by.
Are you, you should be crushed into a fine paste. Don't tell me that you have armored hair or some nonsense.
It's spiky. Puncture damage.
It apparently resists huge, colossal crushing damage, as it turns out. This incidental combat dialogue is awful.
Yeah, it is.
It's so completely... It's not even... yeah, I'd say it's completely out of character. It's like, we're going to make silly quips during this fight for no good reason. I like the giant tooltips that appear in the middle of the screen, completely obscuring your view. That's great.
They regrouped.
Oh, it's The Division that has apparently lost 93% of its player base on PC since launch, which is quite a lot.
And take the fight to them.
Hey, you lied to me yesterday. You're like, yeah, we're going to show it to you, but not till later. Like, God damn it.
With Battlefield 1, our team's ambition was to deliver a unique and memorable experience for you, our players.
Said unique
and I'm
again.
Excited by what we have
He
created.
did that last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he
It's a truly
did.
epic warfare.
I certainly hope that they only said that for the sake of it kind of being the Microsoft conference, that they will actually also allow that earlier access to PC users that also have the EA Access program, because that is...
it would be unfortunate.
well, I mean,
otherwise.
yeah, it's like, well, we pay for the same service, but we don't get the same benefits. Doesn't sound like a particularly good way to sell your service, does it? 100% convinced as to why there is a need to show the same trailer at multiple conferences, but okay.
Maybe they missed the one from yesterday. Not
Well,
everybody comes into E3 2 days early.
Well, I mean,
You would think
it's
so.
day zero. It's technically not even open yet, but I mean, honestly, I don't blame people for not watching the EA conference.
We launched Xbox Live, where anyone playing any type of game can group up to make new friends and compete with gamers around the globe.
As long as you're willing to pay monthly for it, which is such an outdated model, and yet we're still doing it.
One of my favorite games, Rocket League, recently enabled this across all of the networks that allow it. Your feedback.
I like how he absolutely refuses to name the other networks. Like, you mean PlayStation 4 and PC, right?
This summer.
No, we're not going to talk about that. They don't exist.
You don't mention those.
You can listen to your favorite music while you play.
That is such an innovative function.
That should have already been there from ages ago.
Incredible
No matter where you live.
feature from 1991.
Intelligence. Xbox Live is available on whatever device you use. A Windows PC, an Xbox console, an
No,
iOS.
why would I ever want that?
I
mean, you're already trying to force me to use Windows 10, which I've had innumerable issues with. I know some people have not. That's not a representative experience for everybody. Why the hell would I want to tie myself into Xbox Live? Terrible.
Oh my gosh, TotalBiscuit, can I join your Xbox Live club?
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. If you don't, however, you can fuck off.
Or Division agents right here in LA. And
That's actually the total number of players of the Division right there.
Next.
So we're calling today's release the Friendly Update.
Because this is our
The friendly
friendliest
update.
ever.
It's Minecraft. It's aimed at people who are
Friends
6
on
years
different
old. Of course they're going to call it
devices
that.
What's even cooler? Dedicated servers that let you host your own worlds and share them with your friends.
What
So that
innovation.
they can play with you.
As
It's very
Minecraft
coming
chick.
back to my
Minecraft
roots.
chick?
She's been in
What my
several
friends
of them.
built when I went away.
It's
They're
a very,
always building
this
something
is
new,
aimed
and
at 6-year-olds
right now there's a bit of an
presentation,
obsession with this
but
one.
it's in front of an audience of like
All of this
cynical
works with the new
20-something
Guerilla
people
Virtual
that
Minecraft on
hate
Oculus.
everything.
We've
So
got
it's
just the
just this
perfect
weird
friend here to show us
clash.
that.
Yeah.
Mind if I join in?
Please welcome from the Oculus team, John Carmack.
What the hell is he doing there?
That's cool. You have to admit, pretty cool.
John, how does it it feel to be in Gear VR?
The ability to spin around, take in everything, and have the freedom to explore an endless world is what I thought the core of VR was intended to be.
Until
So,
he
Lydia,
falls
what
off
do you
the
have to
stage.
show me in your realm?
I would
Check out
love
what
to
we
watch
started
that.
building.
All right, here we go.
Oh, John Carmack, what happened to you?
Minecart rides in VR are spectacular.
Which way you just
Oh, that
vomits all
dragon
over the
looks pretty
stage.
awesome. I think I'm gonna stay down here. This looks like a good spot to start construction on my mad scientist lair.
Thanks, John.
God.
It's awesome seeing all
The
these
fact that he
devices
probably has a
playing
mad
together.
scientist lair at home.
I'm
Realms are
shriveling
available
into
for
myself.
and are the texture packs let you change how any block or character looks in the
Gonna
game.
cost money in it. You know it
We
will.
want to let players remix anything in Minecraft. And to make that happen, we're bringing add-ons, which are coming this fall. Let's jump down to the rooftop and take a look.
Add-ons. So by that you mean mods, yes?
Add-ons let players change mobs and animals into something completely new. The
So mods,
aliens
then.
on the rooftop used to be zombies, but we modified them and gave them a fireball ability, making them
Modified
much
them.
tougher.
Man, if only there
Oh, no,
were a
Zach,
better,
so before
more
your writing
appropriate
spot, I'm coming
term,
over to help.
perhaps derived from that notion that
Or
we
even
could
an
use.
entire
We've changed the
community
villages too.
based off of such things.
Ah, that'll never happen. No one's
stuff.
willing to put in that much work.
Suit?
Is it Minecraft that makes me feel this way, or is it the way it's being
deal
presented?
with this.
Am I
You
too
got
old
right
for this?
forward.
Am I just like an awful
broke my
person
fire
for
cannon.
not being able to deal with
All right,
this?
ready?
I feel like I should have brought Orion
Redstone
in
and
here to
TNT,
commentate
what
on
could
the
possibly
Minecraft
go
I
portion
even
of the
think he would
conference.
not be okay with this. He'd be like, dude, I've been doing this on PC for 5 years.
This is true.
It's just a first step towards a fully moddable future for Minecraft.
A
Add-ons
fully
will come
moddable
to
future to
Windows
Minecraft.
10,
What a
iOS,
wonderful
Android,
future
and
that
other
will
mobile
be.
editions this
If
fall.
only technology could currently do that. That is hideous. This is the Microsoft cafeteria. Grey, soulless.
Devoid of PCs.
Created by the creators of Limbo. Now, for a place that apparently has some kind of giant mechanical spider, everyone seems incredibly bored by it.
It is one of the best video games I've ever played, and I can't wait for everybody to get to try it when it
Yes, but
launches
what is it?
on June 29th.
Exactly.
Limbo is going to be available for free to all players on Xbox One starting today.
Yes, but what is inside?
Pretty cool.
Like, what is the game?
You know, independent developers have
You're not gonna tell us, are you?
changed the
No,
way we
didn't
play
think so.
games
All
this
right.
generation. With multiple million sellers and hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue going to independent studios.
From Steam.
One game that's already broken the million seller mark is Ark, Survival Evolved from our
On
friends
Steam.
Studio Wildcard. For those of you who have already bought Ark on Xbox One,
On
you're going to be
Steam.
able to
On
get a
Steam.
Windows 10 PC.
It's creepy as hell. I love it.
I
Me
expect you in the
too.
conference room
Absolutely
presently.
love it.
Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the pinata.
Why do I have a feeling the pinata's a person they're going to beat to
Prudence
death?
supposed to be coming back today?
Does
I made her a
candy
welcome
fall out
back
or
card.
joy?
Joy, quote unquote, yes.
You nearly missed the pinata. It's the most adorable Spanish
It sounds
costume.
like
Uncle
This-
Jack did a whole show
There's an actual
actual
animal in there,
animal.
isn't there?
until all the candy comes out.
There's an animal in there, isn't
Come
there?
on, hit it, hit it,
Why do games make us do violent things?
hit it.
I'd refuse. Uh-huh. There was something in that. Yup.
You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh my lord, he's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Damn.
This is gonna be a good game.
This looks unbelievable.
Please don't mess it up, because that looks amazing.
Go to playgwen.com to register for the exclusive beta.
And the
available
crash
first on
in
Xbox
3,
One and Windows
2,
PC.
1, and it's
coming
down.
this September.
A candy cane crossbow shooter.
This is Dead Rising. To be fair, Dead Rising 3 was a giant disappointment, so I'm certainly hoping this is a significant improvement on it.
A flame-throwing triceratops.
Yes. It looks like this may be getting back to its roots a little.
Going up! Okay, let's drop some bombs in this thing!
The voice acting is perhaps not quite what I was looking for.
No.
I don't know if that's the whole fake voice over IP co-op thing, or if that's actually the voice of the character.
I really hope this isn't the voice of the main character. I mean, are we just being a couple of haters? Because this is...
Well, I mean, I have certain expectations from Platinum. I guess maybe, you know, it's okay for them to try something different, but it seems like they're trying to make a Souls game of some sort. And I'm not 100% convinced by what I see.
Is that a Goonies shirt?
It is.
Yeah!
What you've just seen highlights the breadth of Rare's pirate world and the freedom of living the pirate life.
It doesn't. You just showed us a static scene. Nothing happened.
3 weeks ago, we invited some of our awesome Sea of Thieves community to Rare to be the first players.
How do you have a community for a game that's not out?
Not even close to being out yet. What is the Sea of Thieves community? Where did it start? Where does it reside? You know,
where do they meet? Are there dues?
Homeowners association involved with this?
Do they bring cookies to the meetings?
I don't know what they do.
Their ship's not even prepared.
So, who is this Sea of Thieves community, and who are these people? And are they not just actually developers pretending?
No! That's kind of cool, though, you have to admit.
Oh, I mean, the gameplay's fine. It's just the people who will not stop talking and shouting silly catchphrases is starting to bother me a little. You can tell it's getting a little bit oversaturated when you just can't distinguish between the different zombie survival games and you can't remember their damn names.
Like, is it another Dead Island? Is it another Left 4 Dead?
Dead
is it another
something in it.
Zombie something?
Some sort of synonym for that.
4K gaming and high-fidelity VR.
Oh, the magic word.
Yeah, neither of which the Xbox can do.
It's a monster.
There you go.
Ta-da!
6 teraflops. That's adorable.
Well, prepare your wallets.
With 6 teraflops of power, this is hardware built specifically to lead the console industry into true 4K gaming and high-fidelity VR.
No, that's...
Until we get to the Sony conference later today.
That's not enough for true 4K gaming, though. It's not.
Without sacrificing performance.
Well, I mean, that was a bit of a bombshell at the end of it, wasn't it?
Yep.
No doubt about that.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, obviously, teraflops is not the best measurement of power for anything. You know, that doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. But that sounds like, hey, that would render some really awesome games running at 1080p 60. But no, they're claiming 4K gaming from this thing. Which concerns me somewhat. I mean, I'm happy to see a more powerful console, but we've now entered this strange era. We're now in... This is the half-generation era. Like, this is half a console generation that have already actually gone for an upgrade. I like that, personally. I really do. Because,
I think it's expensive.
Well, it is, but, you know, if you want to upgrade your PC every few years, that also costs money, too.
Again, something that we didn't used to have to do,
but,
until, like...
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people's expectations and games technology is evolving at such a rate that you can't just set up a cheap box and expect it to run for 8 years optimally. Like, developers have already, like, hit the limits, really, of what these consoles can do.
As long as they're not leaving those of us behind who can't afford...
Well, they're not.
These yeah,
they're very much pushing that point.
Oh, yeah, the compatibility. No, I get it. But I'm just saying, like, it worries me. It's like, at what point do we actually start sacrificing that?
It's a good question.
Cutting off the consumers who can't afford these.
Yeah, because didn't we have that issue with the new 3DS? You know, if you played some of the new 3DS games on a regular 3DS, the performance wasn't very good. I mean, at some point, there will not so much be a cutoff point, but the games are just not going to run well, you know?
Yeah.
To be fair, if we're entering an era of console options menus, then I will be extremely happy.
It's like the difference if you're playing multiplayer, the difference between you playing on an Xbox One and your friend playing on this brand new Xbox, you know. What is the experience difference going to be? Are they going to be able to play the game easier, or... You know,
well, they're certainly going to be able to play it better.
Better.
You know,
That's what I mean.
It's like, any doubt about that. I mean, it's a cool announcement. Obviously, there's a lot of questions to be asked of that. You know, the biggest thing in my mind is, like, you're claiming 4K 60 on a machine like that. Getting 4K 60 now on modern games at high detail...
True 4K.
Is almost, I mean, maintaining that at like ultra high detail is almost impossible. You can get 4K, but you've got to really knock the detail level down. Now, to some degree, you get some of that back because you're running it at such a high overall resolution, so you can kind of get away with that. But what you're basically saying is, well, we're going to be running 4K at maybe like medium to what would be medium to low presets on, say, a PC. Is that okay? Is that a good thing? Are they going to...
I would consider that 4K-ish.
Ish. I mean, that is a part of it, isn't it? You know, that is definitely a part of it. What I'm interested in seeing is how many games do they shoot for 4K 60 with? Or do they go 4K 30 with optional 1080p 60? Because if they go with that, I'll be really happy. You know, I'm sick of not being able to play these cool games on the console because they run so poorly.
I'm sorry, did you just hear yourself?
Yes! Hey, I've never ever said that I won't play a game on a console. I just want it to run at a certain frame rate. And the reality of it is that the vast majority of them don't. Well,
can't.
They can't. Well, I mean, they could if they chose to make it run that way. The problem is that they don't make it run that way. Yeah, that's the real issue with it.
I think we're going to see a lot of scrutiny and
absolutely, no doubt,
conversation about this for sure.
I do think that them bringing out what is kind of a half-generation upgrade is a good thing. I do. I really do. The machines already feel out of date. It could. I don't disagree with you. You know, you've got to take into account the people that can't afford a new machine.
An Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, the people that just bought an Xbox One may very well be super pissed off. It also, to me, like, cuts the legs out of the Xbox Slim.
It's like, why bother? Why bother?
Well, I mean, you bother because it's $300, right? You know, that's probably why. Now, in terms of the power, you know, there were the specs, supposedly the rumored specs of the new Radeon 480 are about 6 teraflops. So it seems to me like that's kind of the power you're going to be looking at. It's a pretty nice card, but it can't do 4K 60. It can't. Like, I mean, that amount of power is not enough.
It's like going to the Apple store and being like, do I want, like, the 64-gigabyte iPad, or do I want the 128?
Is it? How? How's that similar?
I don't know. It's just like you see this big, shiny thing. You're like, you know, you're thinking, oh, you know, should I upgrade? And you see, like, the big monster thing, and you want that. And then you're like,
you don't want the smaller little one.
And then you get told by, like, your mom, you're like, oh, you're going to get me the 16-gigabyte Wi-Fi only.
Wow, what a terrible problem we have here in the first world.
No. It's true. It is very much first-world gamer problem.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the alternative to that. The alternative to that is you're saying, well, we're going to change the console, we're going to upgrade, and we're going to lock out a bunch of people that can't afford the new one. As opposed to offering a cheaper option that supposedly can play the same games, just not as well. I don't mind that level of choice. I think that's good for the consumer, right? To be able to choose between a more powerful system and a cheaper one.
I think it can be for consumers who are of the age that they're buying it for themselves, knowingly going in. But the people who are restricted, like, you know, I do think that there are a lot of younger gamers. I mean, you know, you think about, you know, for example, like people who are playing Minecraft, maybe not all of them are adults.
Well, I imagine the vast majority of them are not.
Maybe they don't care about performance. Maybe they don't care about, you know, having the most up-to-date thing. But I'm just saying, like, as someone who has a teenager, I know for a fact if my kid went over to some other kid's house and he had the, like, oh my gosh, bomb Xbox, he would be asking for it. He'd be like, well, why don't we have this bomb Xbox instead of having the Slim? Or, you know,
Well, I mean, that's you could say the same thing about somebody that owns a 4K gaming PC and somebody that owns a Wii U, you know? So why don't we have that? Well, the answer is we don't have enough money. You know, what's important is that people get access to games on a system that is affordable to them at their price range, that we not lock people out who don't have as much disposable income. You know, it's unreasonable to expect everyone to have a PC like mine. That's insane. You know, but I think offering another price, it's almost like
at least for the PC, it's kind of a little unassuming because, I mean, all you get to actually see is the exterior case, unless you literally ask what the specs are on the inside. I'm just saying it's different from a console, which is, you know, it's off the shelf. It's got a shiny sticker on it, and you know exactly what it is.
So what somebody compared this to was the way that the mobile phone market currently works.
Yeah.
You know, there is a huge range of mobile phones. A lot of them use the same apps, but they don't all perform the same. You know, say my Note 5 versus, you know, some random low-end smartphone. There's a huge difference in power and capability. Mm-hmm. They both effectively do the same thing. They can both mostly run the same stuff, but one is going to run them a hell of a lot better than the other. Right now, at least up until this point on the consoles, you never had that option, you know, and you also want to bear in mind, like, if you're a more hardcore gamer, you want better performance, and you want to play these games that aren't necessarily available on PC, then you don't really have any other option up until now. And I like the fact that they're giving you an option to go a bit more high-end with it, as long as they stick to their promise of allowing all of the Xbox games to run on the older hardware. I'm very doubtful as to how well they will run, because it's up to developers to optimize. I mean, hell, they can't even optimize right now. Stuff like Lichdom Battle Mage runs terribly on Xbox One, right? What's going to happen in a few years when people are primarily developing for Scorpio?
You have 3 different
versions of
consoles.
it. Yeah, you have 3 different versions of it. Which one runs properly, which one does not? I think, there's a potential for problems there.
Updates for all 3.
That's going to be a nightmare,
for all 3,
I imagine.
Patches for all 3. I think that has the potential to be a real clusterfuck, if I'm honest.
It very well could. It very well could. That was definitely a big surprise at the end there, no doubt. I was not expecting that. But that set the battle lines. I expect we're gonna have to
at the Sony conference.
Well, we're gonna have to hear about Neo at the conference tonight. Like, if they don't, then Microsoft kind of runs away with the news. I mean, they have all the headlines right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will say,
for God's sake, there was a million people watching E3 on Twitch when that happened.
Yeah.
That's insane.
What I will say is I think that we actually snarked a lot less during that than any other conference so far.
Oh, totally.
Just because
there was a lot of gameplay. There was a lot of games shown.
There was a lot of games shown, and I do appreciate that. I was not crazy about the Final Fantasy.
Well, I mean, no, I didn't really like the look of that either, honestly.
I was not crazy about the Scalebound.
No, I was actually not liking the look of that at all. But you've got to admit that there was actually minimal fluff, minimal bullshit in that conference. It was mostly we're just bringing the games, one after another.
We went from one game to another.
Yeah. I like that. I appreciate that.
It's like you feel like they still had more that they could have shown you, but chose not to. And I like when presentations are done in that way, because it leaves you with that taste. I want more, and I know that they have more, but they're just not giving it to me.
Yes, and they also, at least they showed you a bit instead of like, here's a cutscene.
Bare bones.
Even the stuff where they said, oh, here's the fancy Halo Wars trailer that shows no gameplay. Like, oh well, here's some gameplay.
Right.
Same with Sea of Thieves or whatever. Oh, here's the fancy trailer, doesn't show anything. Here's some gameplay. Annoying gameplay, but gameplay nonetheless. So I think that was a good conference overall.
I think so as well.
But it's very weird to lead with, hey, we have a new Slim Xbox, and then end with, that Slim Xbox is already obsolete, basically.
I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I understand your point about accessibility and different price points for consumers to buy in. I really feel like, as an Xbox One owner, that I just got kicked in the balls.
I don't know why you think that. I mean, you do own a $5,000 gaming machine. I don't think, if we have to buy another $500 console,
I don't know. I got used to only replacing consoles like once every 2 to 3 years, and
yeah, but it's been out for 3 years, and this is going to be out.
Has it?
Yeah, it really has.
Really?
Has it been
long?
It feels weird, doesn't it?
It doesn't seem like it.
You don't think it's true, do you?
No, I don't.
It doesn't.
Actually, I don't.
Totally doesn't. But yeah, I mean, the thing is,
maybe because we haven't actually had enough games of interest to release to play on it.
We barely use our consoles. There's a lot about that.
I honestly think that's what it is. We have not gotten enough use out of our Xbox One.
Yes, I think that's why you feel that way. Because think about this, right? The last console generation, it was around for about 8 years. 8 years. I think that's the longest console generation ever in history. Way too long. By the end of it, smartphones were kicking their asses. That's how bad it got. This is 3 years on, and obviously in 2017, it's going to be about 4 years. Is a 4-year life cycle unreasonable? I actually don't think it is. I think that's actually all right.
I still think we could get more life out of the current generation. I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
I mean, I play games of the current generation.
I don't like to throw down money.
No, I've seen your handbag collection. You are a liar.
There's a difference. There's a massive
To be fair, handbags at least appreciate in value, don't depreciate as soon as you buy them.
That's what I'm saying. It's like my handbag,
when
I buy it, 2 years later, that handbag is at least 25% increased in value. It's different. Yeah. It is totally different.
Yeah. Can we just point out, by the way, the best looking pixels is the most Donald Trump fucking line I've ever heard from a conference. We got the best pixels. Build the pixel wall.
Yeah.
Make Sony pay for it. Jesus Christ. That was a stupid line, but I am happy they're powering up. I really am. I'm happy to see more horsepower. I am sick to death of hearing about a really cool exclusive game on Xbox and then finding out it runs at fucking 30 or lower. Because I don't want to play it at that point.
Well, I think if we find out more about how this is going to run with 4K, then I don't know.
I think I mean, I really think the thing is they didn't mention 4K and 60 Hz in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Like, I think, yes, the thing is the Xbox One is capable of 60 Hz gaming. Some of the games on Xbox One run at 60 frames per second. I mean, fuck, the Super Nintendo was capable of 60 Hz gaming, for God's sake. That doesn't mean anything. You know, you can run anything at 60. The question is, will developers run it at 60?
Yeah.
You know, what I want is an option between 4K 30 and 1080p 60. To hell, right now I would kill for 1080p 30 or 720p 60 on console. Just give me the option. Give me the choice.
Like when you go to the movies and you know that you're going to see a movie, you got a choice to see it in regular format or 3D format, but you know for a fact if it wasn't shot for 3D, then it's just not going to be as good. It's kind of that feeling. It's like I want something that was developed for 4K,
specifically
runs
designed
at 4K.
for that. Yeah.
It's like at that point I will be excited. But
yeah,
until I know, I don't know. I'm apprehensive about it.
I mean, I certainly am as well, but I do think that there's definitely a great potential for positive advancement in the console market through this. You know, I want to see it. What's pissed me off is that we haven't had a tech arms race for ages. Like, the last couple of consoles to come out have been relatively similar in power. I just want to see an advancement in power. I need to see a jump in power. I genuinely do. The Xbox was obsolete before it even came out. You know, it was outdated. So was the PlayStation, by the way.
You drive the car off the lot, it automatically depreciates.
Yeah, but I mean, with the
same
consoles,
situation.
it was even worse.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like already depreciating while it's still on the lot, but you bought it anyway because everyone else was.
Yeah. We're hoping, by the way, that the Twitch stream has fixed its sound problem, bearing in mind that we literally cannot hear the sound problems on this end. Now, they've switched back to the studio. If it happens again with the PC gaming stream, we'll see what we can do about that. But one way or the other, we'll be covering the PC gaming show probably in about 10 minutes' time. Overall, I think that was a pretty strong conference from Microsoft. There a lot of pushing in Windows 10. I do like the cross-platform stuff. I think that's very pro-consumer.
Exclusivity sucks, but that is Microsoft and Xbox for you, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, before this, it was you had to buy an Xbox. Now they're sort of saying, well, no, you don't have to buy an Xbox.
You can have Windows 10.
You can do it on Windows 10. And to be fair, it is possible to have Windows 7 and 10 running on the same machine. It's just really difficult to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I tried to dual boot. I had all sorts of problems with dual booting. It's not fun to try and get that to work properly. But it's good that there's at least a way to get it. It's not a great way right now. The MS Store is terrible. UWP is currently very restrictive in what you can do with it. It's very hard to capture. They had a bunch of full screen issues, which I think they resolved. It doesn't support SLI, doesn't support Crossfire. There's all sorts of problems with it. But at least there's an option.
Yeah.
Because before that, there wasn't one.